The beautiful country of Colombia, with its vast mountains, rivers, and jungles, has been embroiled in a bloody civil war for over 40 years. In the north by Panama, the Urabá region is home to over 50 peace communities, which have opted out of the violence between the many warring factions. This region is rich with resources and controversy. Urabá is 10 kilometers from the 500-mile-long Canon Limon oil pipeline. The Occidental Petroleum Pipeline is protected by U.S. military aid. The U.S. imports more oil from Colombia and its neighbors, Ecuador and Venezuela, than all the Persian Gulf countries combined. With billions of dollars of American aid, the Colombian military is attempting to gain control of the farthest reaches of the jungle, where guerrilla and paramilitary forces reign. In 1997, Operation Genesis targeted Cacarica as guerrilla sympathizers. The Colombian military bombed villages from U.S.-supplied Black Hawk helicopters, and ground troops swept through the village, advising people to leave. About 2 or 3 a.m., the paramilitary came through and massacred. The state then moved the Afro-Colombians to Turbo, where 4,000 people lived in a sports stadium for 4 years. The 17th Brigade controls the Urabá region. Coronel Jorge Orlando Ramirez is second commander.
¿Qué antecedentes tenemos? En 1996, ofensiva terrorista en el Urabá antioqueño, disputa territorial entre las FARC y las autodefensas, venidas después de la reinserción del Ejército Popular de Liberación. Nosotros como militares y para la Policía Nacional, y es que tanto los narcotraficantes, terroristas, las FARC, las autodefensas utilizan esos ríos por donde están las comunidades de paz que piden no presencia del Estado para introducir elementos ilegales a Colombia y sacar también pues, el gran flagelo de nosotros que es el narcotráfico. Las defensas y el ELN son denominadas por las fuerzas militares de Colombia y el gobierno nacional a partir de la Asociación Político-Estratégica Nacional, organizaciones narcoterroristas, autodefensas, FARC, ELN, ERG, el Guevarista, todos son organizaciones narcoterroristas que a la par de una lucha entre ellos están financiando el terrorismo y el narcotráfico y son objetivo del plan de campaña.
According to the National Security Archives, the CIA has documented the Colombian military's links to the paramilitary, but U.S. aid is contingent upon human rights laws, and the Colombian military has the worst human rights record in the Western Hemisphere. The administration has asked Congress for an extra $35 million in aid for Colombia in the fiscal year of 2003 as part of the $27 billion anti-terrorism package. In the year 2000, the villagers of Cacarica began to return in stages and rebuild, this time as a peace community.
No, that's just wood. Trees. Yeah, so yes, they make it here. Muy rico, muchas gracias.
Pedrito.
Ah, sí. ¿Hay otro para usted?
Gracias. We shared.
Y tienen fruta aquí también, que crecen.
Palmeras de coco y mango.
No, allá no.
So coconut and mango is what they have fruit. And yes, they have their.
No te vas.
They make the planks themselves. Repetirlo para la cámara. That the community has teachers that come from out of the community itself because they did not want to have teachers from the outside, which is what the government proposed, that to pay teachers to come here. But they know that the communities or that the places where those government teachers come from oftentimes are filled with paramilitaries, and therefore they felt they didn't want teachers from those places to come here because they didn't want like any informants or infiltrators in the community.
Okay.
And before the violence started and became so acute here, they had schools here and children that were that could go on to like secondary schools in Turbo, and they had their means to do that. And so those are the ones that then came back as teachers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm against rice.
Ya sabe que
Para mí sola.
Hello. Hola.
Hola. Lo manda toda su foto a nosotros. Vamos a mandar toda su foto. ¿Tú qué ves?
The peace community has no affiliations with any of the armed actors, including the Colombian military. In the peace community of Cacarica, if villagers go too far outside their 12-hectare boundary to tend the rest of their fields, they risk being attacked.
Nosotros no han caminado para el barrio de abajo.
No.
Ya el último barrio de Progreso.
Por aquí por este lado, entonces allá cruza allá la vuelta. Vamos por aquí.
Nos podemos ir por aquí.
Por aquí.
So you were saying that before the displacement they had lots of fruit, like oranges, avocados, like lots of stuff. But that when they had to leave, it just all went to waste. When they came back, it wasn't. It just didn't produce anymore. And so I asked him whether they have plans to restart that, and he's like, yeah, well, we would like to, but with all the threats against us and everything, we just don't go that far to plant anything, so we just go to the close by tierras. ¿Ya no?
Para mi compadre.
No!
Vas a poner
Flooding is common, but the waters quickly recede. The villagers of Kakarika are very organized. There are committees for every age and gender group, and communal work days are agreed on.
Yeah. Except this one I definitely went into the water.
Oh, both mine
This
did,
is
yeah.
mostly sweat. You know,
Oh, I see, I see.
But you should step out.
Rice.
Oh, yeah,
This is the rice.
Sure.
I wouldn't have.
Green
I wouldn't
rice.
have known it.
Exactly. Yeah. She's like, oh, you eat it, but you don't know what it looks like.
The Kakarikans grow rice, sugarcane, plantains, yams, and yucca, and corn. Everything is grown organically with an eye on sustainability.
Oportunidad de fotografiar.
Cleaning the rice.
Taste that, not rest. For gardening.
Dame.
Have to be up on stilts when that water was high, right? Yeah, funny.
Entonces, ¿estos son como las hortalizas de plantas medicinales o de...?
Hortalizas de aliño para
To show the stilts.
Yeah.
So these are more food stuff, not the medicinal.
Para comer. Amén, esta sí es medicina.
Ah, mint. Put away.
Yeah.
It's got a long string.
A ver si con la brisa funciona, ajá. Muy bien.
Oh, wonderful.
Manual labor.
Yeah, yeah. They don't have a machine like the other community.
Oh yeah, they do.
Organical.
Oh, that's great.
It's like called like huts that are more for, that are for the people who haven't gotten their real houses yet. So these are called cambuches, and these are the huts for people whose houses aren't finished.
That's true.
Esto lo hicieron mientras se hicieran las casas.
So some families still live in there, even though those were supposed to be provisional houses.
But if you took that one, I wouldn't mind having it. I did take a picture of that one.